And, I just did a special, by the way, about, it's releasing tomorrow. It's about, I did it in front of a psychiatrist convention.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I just did it. And so I sought out a psychiatrist convention and went there and said, hey, would you guys let me go on and just shoot my special in front of you? And they said, sure. So I did a whole thing. And then they analyzed me afterwards, and it was funny.
What room was it at?
It was a ballroom, like one of those conventions. It was like a Washington, D.C., some hotel off the beaten path where they were just having a convention.
And they did not plan on you being there?
No.
And so you knew they were going to be there at that time?
Yeah.
And you coordinated with them, set up cameras, the whole deal?
Yeah.
Did you inform them before, like the psychiatrist beforehand, they were going to be a part of a comedy special?
Well, they were welcome to come to the show or not. But, yeah, we told them before, if you come, you might be on film. But, yeah, they didn't have to show up. Obviously, half of them probably showed up. But it was
That's a great idea.
Interesting. Yeah, I thought it was because it's about the world, how we're having a psychotic break. We're talking about the planet. So it was kind of fun for me because, it was interesting for that angle, The whole special is built around it.
It's so much more discussed. The bad news is so much more discussed. People's problems are so much more discussed. Having problems is so much more a thing that people love to talk about now. It makes you more interesting. It gives you something to talk about. And it's just so pervasive. And I think social media has just broken people's brains.
Social media started as a fun aunt's kitchen where everybody was being positive and saying like, hey, dance between the raindrops. And then suddenly somebody was like, shut up, bitch, you fat bitch. Fuck you and the raindrops. And it just unleashed all of us.
Yeah.
That's what I say. It's like it unleashed that part of people. And here's the other thing, which I think you'd be interested in. It's the first time in history you can threaten people and curse them out and not have to run or have a physical confrontation. So fight or flight instinct is going to be eliminated from our genetics in 2 generations.
Yeah. Not just that, but also you don't feel bad. Like if you say something shitty to someone, you see the look on their face, even if you feel like you should have done it, when you're alone at night, you might be like, I didn't have to do that.
Right.
Why did I do that? What a fucking asshole I am. Now that I got to apologize.
Right.
And then you'll see him the next day like, I was out of line. I'm sorry. I was dealing with a lot of shit. My mom, my sister, my this, my that.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm sorry. But there's none of that.
No.
And you don't even know these people, too.
You don't have to say. You can't
Just say the most evil, mean shit, vicious shit. Look through their pictures. Look at you, you fat fuck, and your fucking toothless smile. And
and they used to have gossip magazines, like if celebrities in the 1950s. That's when they started to realize people love to read bad, scandalous stuff. But now you get to respond. You're like the writer and the reader of the gossip magazine.
You know what I do enjoy, though? When people don't understand how it works, and they'll post something and just get smashed in the comments, and then they'll start going back and forth with people in the comments like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Oh, yeah. Or what about, one of the biggest problems is people, this is one of many of them, trying to be funny that they've never had to, they've always thought they were kind of funny. And then they go in and try to be funny. And they get away with a couple because they have 2 people that go, hey, that was good. And they start to think, I'm funny. And then they get in there and people just start destroying them for trying to be funny because they're not used to the heckling that we're used to.
Right.
We got trained out of all our hack habits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Comedy trains you. The audience trains you.
Mm-hmm. And being around
by
other
not
comics.
laughing and being around other comics.
Other comics
regulates
like, what
you.
the fuck was that joke?
It regulates you.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, you get feedback.
Yeah.
Feedback's important, positive and negative.
It's a whole other level. Yeah.
Who gets more feedback than comics? We get real live feedback from hundreds of people every night.
Every night. You got feedback last night.
Just last night.
You can't live in a theoretical world of like, I think this is funny. I think this is good. You're getting feedback.
Yeah. It's fun, though. Don't you still enjoy it?
It's the best. It's the only honest reaction you could get in today. There's nothing virtual about it.
The most honest form of entertainment because you write it, you perform it, you produce it, you edit it. Like, I was saying, like, how easy doing sitcoms was when I first started doing sitcoms.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
like,
that's right.
I go, they're great writers. They write you great jokes. You don't even have to work hard.
Yeah.
And I was talking about how bad my act suffered during those days.
Yeah.
Because when I was first on a sitcom in 94, we were working like 12 hours a day on
News radio?
It was long days. So by the end of the day, I'm exhausted. So if I did go up, it was just the same old material,
That's right.
just rehab. I wasn't connected to it anymore. I was like flat,
Yeah.
you know? And because when they're writing for you, it's so much easier. Like, the jokes are already
course.
there. All you have to do is like add your little sauce to them.
It's great.
Flare them up a little bit.
I know. I get so jealous of the idea of like the old days comedians would just have writers.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what do you got for me? We got to go out and think of this stuff.
A few people still do that, right?
Yeah, I'm
a
sure
few
they
guys do. Like, I know, obviously, the guys who host talk shows do.
Yeah.
You know, you can't write a new monologue every day. You'd be out of your mind, or you'd be.
I did
you'd
on
have to
Tough
be
Crowd.
You wrote that every day?
Now, I'm not saying most of them didn't bomb, but I did write them all myself.
No shit.
Yeah.
When I went to see you on Tough Crowd, the best part of it was you warming up the crowd. I was like, why don't they show this? This is funnier than the rest of the whole show. It was so good.
Thanks.
It's so good.
It was fun. And that crowd was crazy. They would come like a lot.
Well, I was living in California at the time, and I just, like, sometimes I forget. Sometimes you haven't seen a guy in a while. You're like, God damn, I forgot how funny Colin is.
Right.
You know, you need to see it. You need to see them live.
You do. You need to go out and see it.
Yeah, just get in your head. It's the best thing. I mean, I've been doing it for so long, but I still love it. I love it. I love crowds. I love watching it. I love doing it. I love it. It's so much fun.
And what's fun about it too is you can't if you don't. It's like working out. If you don't do it, you just get flabby and out of shape.
Yeah,
That's it.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it. When I take time off, I go on vacation for like 10 days. I'll have one really good set when I come back because I'm enthusiastic.
Yeah.
And the second set is like a little fucking shaky. I'm like, what's
And
going
that's
on with
what's
this
great.
set?
But
Yeah.
that's a horror, but that's the best part about it.
It's just reality.
Everybody that steps away from it too long, they talk in this term where it's like, oh, you got to do reality. I'm mediocre when I get on stage. I'm going to be mediocre tonight, even though I don't want to be. And I'm like, hey, I really figured this out. And guess what? I didn't figure it out. And the crowd will just let you know. That's the beauty.
How much time did you take off during COVID?
I did a few shows. I mean, I did some shows that were like I did remote shows, which I loved remote comedy.
Really?
I loved it.
Like Zoom comedy?
Zoom comedy. I did
You
about-
loved it?
I loved
You're
it.
the only guy I've talked to. Everybody
mean-
else said it was hell.
Because I just read. They think I'm looking at them. I'm reading my act. So any new material was memorized immediately.
Oh.
It was great. Every new joke.
Maybe you should get a teleprompter.
What's that?
Maybe you should get a teleprompter.
I've tried teleprompters, yeah.
Yeah?
I wish I could bring them all the time, yeah.
You tried it on stage?
I love teleprompters.
No shit.
Yeah.
No, it's a good way to make sure you remember your shit.
Yes. Teleprompter's the greatest.
Because the worst feeling is when you get back to the green room and you're like, fuck that tagline. I forgot the tagline.
Yeah. Or even the intro line. So you're like, of course it bombed. I didn't even explain what I was going to talk about.